So, you plugged in your scanner, and bam, this P062F code is staring back at you. It looks pretty scary, right? Points to a problem deep inside your car's brain. But don't worry. In this explainer, we're going to break it down completely. What it means, what causes it, and a step-by-step guide you can actually follow.
And I'm guessing you're seeing the symptoms too. That check engine light is glaring at you, the car might be stalling, shifting funny, or maybe it just won't start at all. These aren't random problems. They're all connected to one central issue. Your car's main computer is sending out an SOS, and that P062F code is the message. So let's decode it. Okay, first things first, before we even think about grabbing a wrench, we have to play detective. What is your car actually trying to tell you with this code? Let's translate it from computer speak into plain English. So what in the world is an EEPROM error? Well, EEPROM is basically the computer's long-term memory. It's where all the essential, permanent rules for how to run your engine and transmission are stored. The P062F code means the computer did a self-check and found that its own memory is corrupted. It literally cannot trust itself to do its job right. Honestly, the best way to think about it is computer amnesia. The control module has forgotten the fundamental rules, like how to manage the fuel mixture, when it's supposed to shift gears, or even the right sequence to start the engine. It knows its own memory is messed up, and that P062F code is the big red flag it's waving for help. And this kind of internal memory loss, it doesn't just stay inside the electronics. Nope, it shows up in very real and very annoying ways when you're trying to drive. So let's go over the common evidence you're probably seeing right now. Do any of these sound familiar? Stalling out at a red light? That's the computer forgetting the right fuel-to-air mix. Transmission shifting super hard and at all the wrong times? It's lost its connection to the transmission's logic. This isn't just some minor glitch, it's a problem at the very heart of how your car operates. So where do we even begin the actual diagnosis? Well, I've got some good news. Most of the time, the super expensive computer isn't the thing that's actually broken. The real problem is often its power supply. See, unstable voltage is like poison to digital memory, so our first job is to check the usual suspects. Seriously, before you start pricing out a new computer, do these 4 things. First, look at the battery. Is it fully charged? Are the terminals clean and clamped down tight? A bad connection can act just like a dead battery. Second, test the alternator. Third, pull the fuses for the ECM or PCM. And last, find the main ground wire for the module and make sure it has a solid, clean connection to the chassis. You would be amazed how often the fix is right here. Now, when you test that alternator with your multimeter, this is the magic range you're looking for with the engine running, somewhere between 13.5 and 14.5 volts. If it's lower than that, the computer is being starved for power. If it's higher, it's getting overloaded. Either one of those conditions can corrupt its memory and throw this exact code. Okay, so let's say you've done all that. Your power supply is perfect, the battery is strong, the alternator is putting out stable voltage, and all the grounds are solid. But the code is still there. Well, now our investigation has to go one level deeper, into the wiring and the software itself. At this point, our path kind of splits in two. Are we dealing with a software problem or a physical hardware problem? A software glitch could be from a failed update or just some random temporary error. Physical damage is a little more obvious. You're looking for signs of water getting in, heat damage, or a wiring harness that's been chewed on or smashed. The fix for each is completely different. Now, before you go any further, here is a simple trick every mechanic on the planet tries first. Just go disconnect the negative battery terminal for about 15 minutes. This forces a hard reboot of the whole system. If the error was just a temporary software hiccup, this can sometimes clear it completely. It's a zero-cost step that might just solve your whole problem. So you've checked the power, you've looked over the wiring, you tried the battery reset, and that stubborn P062F code just will not go away. This brings us to the final and frankly the most serious possibility. The control module itself has actually failed. By a process of elimination, this is really the only question left on the table. It's the most complicated and expensive scenario, which is exactly why we check everything else first before we decide the module is bad. Let's run through this one final checklist. Are you 100% sure the power and grounds are good? Have you physically looked at the wiring harness going into the module for damage? What about the module itself? Any burn marks on the circuit board? And hey, don't forget to use your nose. A fried computer often has a very distinct burnt electronics smell. If you've ruled out everything else, Well, you found your culprit. And this brings us to the bottom line. If you've confirmed the module is the problem, this is really where the DIY part of the job has to end. A new module doesn't just get plugged in. It has to be programmed specifically to your car's unique VIN and all its options. This takes expensive, specialized tools, which definitely makes it a job for a pro. Let's wrap this up with a critical piece of advice. Can you limp the car to the shop? Maybe, but driving for any real amount of time with a P062F code is a huge gamble. You risk stalling in a dangerous spot or even causing more damage to other systems in your car. So, the takeaway here is simple. Get this fixed, and get it fixed fast. Don't ignore the warning signs.